We're going to make a dish from Union of South Africa. It's a meat timbal, either in a little casserole dish or individual. It's called Bobotee. And these are the ingredients. It's really simple to put together as long as you have all of this. And it's going to be baked in the oven. So what we have here is ground beef or ground lamb, whichever you prefer. We have toasted almonds, chopped. We have raisins. They could be black, they could be yellow. Chutney, curry powder, lemon juice, garlic, dried apricots, butter, and onion. And a little salt and pepper, and a slice of white bread. But since I hate white bread, I'm using a grain bread. And that's going to be soaked in milk. So there's a few steps. You put it together, put it in the oven, you wait about 45 minutes, and there's your delicious dinner. So let's get started. The first thing you do, take the bread, I broke it up a little, and we soak it in milk. So this will take a few minutes. Leave this to get soaked well. Then we're going to squeeze it out, and then we'll add the eggs to this. Very simple. So we got the bread soaked. Now we're going to get the sauteed onions and garlic out of the way. Now, I'm not taking credit for this recipe. It came out of LaRousse cookbook, which I've had for about 35 years of country living, and I found some great recipes in there from all over the world, and this is just one of them. The only alteration I did just a little bit was just to add a drop more onions to it, and I used white raisins. So we'll saute this, and we will put into here the curry powder to get this flavor going here. We'll sweat this up. It'll take a few minutes. We don't need to color it, so that takes care of that. So give that about 3-4 minutes, maybe more. While that's cooking, take the bread and put it in a colander. We're going to squeeze it. I don't feel like using my hands, so I'll just press it with this. So after you press that well, squeeze it dry, press it well, get all the milk out of it, and then into there, into the milk, we're going to crack the 2 eggs. You can beat the egg separate and put it into the milk, or you can do what I did. I cracked the eggs into the milk and beat it thoroughly. Chutney is not an easy item to come by, so I picked out a hot mango chutney. You can use whatever chutney you like, apple, any fruit, whatever. I just happened to pick this one out. Actually, it's the only one they had in the store, and it was either hot or plain. So hot is always better. And also into the onion, garlic, curry mix, I'm going to put the salt and pepper. That way I get a more evenly distributed seasoning this way when this is mixed with the meat. I already have this fully seasoned. About another minute, we are done here. I'll let this cool just for a few minutes because I don't feel like mixing this hot onion into the cold beef. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. It's just easier for my hands if it's not as hot. Very nice. Now this bread that's been soaked, break it up into very small pieces or put it on a board and chop it up. It's going to be mixed with the meat, so I don't want big chunks. So you have a choice, either do it like this or just put it on a board and chop it up a little. Or there's another way of doing it. You can also use you can use panko breadcrumbs and soak them. And I'll measure this. No, I'm not going to measure this. That's one slice of bread. So you get an idea. That looks like about a half a cup. Almost a cup. Anyway, we're going to mix that into the meat and everything else. Now let's put everything into the meat. These are the apricots, the dried apricots that were soaked and chopped up. So that's number one. Then we have I toasted the almonds and chopped them up. The raisins, those are white raisins, you can use black. You have to put the bread in there, the soaked bread. That's in there. Now we're going to put the last one of the two items. We have 3 items to go. We have the lemon juice, the chutney. We're going to get all of that out of there. I won't leave that in there, don't worry. And half of the milk egg mixture, because the rest of it's going to go on top. So if you want to split this and measure it, you can, but I'm going to go like so and save the rest for the topping. Now, the last thing that'll go in there, the seasoning's in there, and after I mix this up, I'm going to taste it again. I don't mind tasting raw lamb or beef. It's raw chicken that I won't taste any longer, even though I used to do that many years back. Now I'm going to mix this with my hands, but you don't have to watch. So you can put a little individual little crocks or a larger crock, but I'm going to cook it in a stainless steel with a handle that's stainless steel, not a plastic handle. This is going in the oven. And then I'm going to serve it on a trivet on the table. So what do you really have here? After all is said and done, it's a meatloaf. It just has different ingredients in it and done a little differently than the traditional meatloaf that you might know. So we'll just flatten this out, and when this is cooked, what are you going to serve it with? They say just plain rice. Well, that sounds good to me. If you like to have a vegetable along with it, fine. Now on the top of this, make it nice and smooth, go all over to the edge, so what happens later is we don't lose that milk and egg mixture going off to the side and down, hopefully. So now we just pour this over. Set the timer for 45 minutes and we'll come back and look at it. Well, 45 minutes later, and there we have it. It looks good. Put a little chopped parsley on there. I'm going to get a little dish. Take a little of that out. I don't want to ruin this for dinner tonight, so I'm just taking a little bit off the side there. And give it a taste. That tastes just like all the ingredients should taste like. That was really nice. And then serve it with some plain rice. I hope you enjoy. Well, that's enough for 4 people, no problem.